Hello, hello, ladies, and we are live for day 3. How is everybody doing today? Come on in. You know the drill if you've been here for the past 2 days. Come on in, say hello. Let me know that you're here. I can't believe we are on day 3. Let me just tell you something, ladies. These 9 days, they go fast. Initially, I always feel like, and I've done this class 8 times now, I always feel like, oh, wow, 9 days, and then plus a bonus day. How is, is anybody, how am I going to get through it? Sometimes I wonder, but actually the days go by really, really, really fast. So come on in, say hello. Hello, hello. Hi, Shireen. Hi, Hiba. Hello, ladies. As you're coming in, let me know what you're most excited about for today. You are getting the energy of these classes. You know what I'm going to talk about more or less. Maybe you have questions already. Let me know what you are excited about. Hi, Nadia. Josie, hi, Josie. Hello, hello, ladies. I'm so happy that you are here. I'm so happy that you are back for day 3. Ranya's here. Marie is here. Farah is here. Hello, ladies. I love it. I have to tell you, ladies, honestly, you really are keeping your word. You really are keeping your word. As I talk, think about what you're most excited about and put it in the comments. You really are keeping your word. You are showing up. It's day 3. Day 3 is typically, and also because of what I'm going to tell you in day 3, is typically where I see the numbers start to drop off a bit. The interest starts to decrease a bit. Because what I'm going to tell you today is where, if you thought your brain was freaking out yesterday or the day before, it's really going to start to freak out today, which is fine, which is perfectly normal. It's supposed to do that. But we have covered a lot in just 2 days. We're going to cover so much more today and tomorrow. But you're here, you're back. And I'm so happy that you are here for you. I am here for you. And I'm just simply always humbled and amazed at the energy of each class. Each class has a slightly different energy, but it's always this incredible energy and excitement and a desire to learn and a desire to change. And I can always, believe it or not, I feel it. So thank you for being back. All of you who are new, who maybe got invited yesterday, maybe got invited just today, maybe just joined the group in the past half hour, welcome. If you have been invited by a beautiful lady already in this group, I have to tell you, those of you who've been invited, you have some pretty great friends. You have some pretty great friends who thought of you and thought this class can help you and reach out to you and told you, you know what, I'm going to invite you to this class. I think you should come and listen. Those are some great friends. And that's the power of community and the power of women when they decide collectively to take back their power. So, we talk about taking back your health, taking back control over your health, but imagine what happens when there's 300 women that have joined in the past 4 days, and then all the ripple effect from these 300 women. Imagine what's going to happen when you all collectively decide to take back your power. So welcome to my community. Let me see who is here. Hiba's here. Farah is here. Farah is excited about knowing what causes the imbalance. Yes. Hanan, hi. Nashwa, hi. Minna, you made it. Hi, hello. Yes, today's topic is definitely super important. So what is it that causes all the craziness? So if you're new, I want you to welcome you again to my community. My name is Dana Danawi and I'm the hormone coach. It is my absolute passion in life to show women how to reverse all their uncomfortable hormonal symptoms naturally. So not using pills, supplements, hormone replacement therapy, crazy procedures, crazy surgeries. I show you how to do it naturally using nutrition and lifestyle. Because when you do that, lots of things happen. One, you get out of the cycle of yo-yo dieting, and we all know how frustrating the cycle of yo-yo dieting is. We've all been there. We've all done it, perhaps for our entire adult life, going from one diet to the next, to the next, to the next. When you finally learn that we shift out of the dieting mindset into a healing mindset, that's done with. You never go on another diet again. When you rebalance your hormones and you get rid of all your symptoms, well, I mean, you live symptom free, and who doesn't want that, right? You regain your energy, you regain your focus, you don't have the crazy mood swings, you sleep better, there's no pain, you lose stubborn weight if you need to. Basically, you go back to that version of yourself that somehow got lost somewhere along the way, and the version of yourself that you miss, and the version of yourself that you wish you could see again, because you're not recognizing yourself these days, right, ladies? So as much as I can in the time that we have together. Remember, this is a 9-day class. I can't possibly, as much as I would love to, teach you every little single thing there is. But I want to start by you just looking at your health differently. And I can already tell just from 2 days, already all of you are looking at your health differently. All of you. I mean, even if you do nothing else with these 9 days, you are looking at your health differently, and you are starting to be more proactive, or at least thinking about how you can be proactive and not so passive, not so complacent, not so just left without any kind of power around your body and your health. So you're being empowered. Even if you do nothing else with this class, you are being empowered emotionally and physically, right? Because you can't be truly healthy unless you are both emotionally and physically healthy. It doesn't work one or the other, not long term anyway. So like I said, as much as I can give you in the 9 days within this framework is to empower you, and is to remove all the confusion, the overwhelm, the complexity when it comes to your hormones and understanding what's happening to your body so that you can get to that vision of yourself. All right? Because remember, what is it, ladies? Hormone imbalance and the symptoms that go along with it is not a life sentence. Hormonal shifts are real. They have to happen. It's part of our biological makeup. It's the symptoms that are optional. And we talked about taking back your power in the first day. Yesterday, we talked about the specific hormones, the specific sets of hormones that can become imbalanced and what the symptoms that arise from that. Today, we're going to talk about, right, so then what causes those symptoms? What causes those imbalances? So those of you who are just watching for the first time today, please go back and watch the first 2 videos. All the videos are saved here under videos. So if you missed anything, go to click videos. You'll find the video from day 1. They're labeled video from day 2. Go back and watch them. Each video builds on the other one. And also, if you want to go in the draw to win one of 2 free programs. On day 5, which is after tomorrow, I'm giving away 2 free hormone reset programs. And in order for you to go into the draw, you have to do 3 things. You have to watch the videos from day 1, 2, 3, and 4. Either watch them live or watch the replay and answer the question that I ask at the end of each class. Email me the answer at questions@danadenoy.com. And you also have to invite a friend. So there's a whole bunch of you who are only doing one of the other, which is fine. But if you want to go into the draw, you need to do both. So if you've just invited a friend, then be sure you're answering the questions. And if you've just answered the questions, be sure you're also inviting a friend so that you can go into the draw. And on Thursday, live, when I start the class, I'm going to draw out of a bowl. I'm going to put the names in a bowl and I'm going to pick the winners. All right? Perfect. So let's get started today. As I've said, and as I will continue to always say, hormonal balance is essential. You cannot lead the life you dream of leading. You cannot do the things you want to do every day, from however simple tasks they might be, to the bigger dreams and ambitions you have for your life, if your body can't keep up with you. And if your body's not keeping up with you at this age, between 35 and 55, and actually before that and after that, we have to look at hormonal imbalances. We have to look at balancing hormones because they control everything in your body, literally. Digestive system, moods, reproductive system, emotionally, metabolism, you name it, your hormones are involved. And so if you are feeling like you wake up and your mind is just going at like 100 kilometers an hour, and you have so many ideas that in your mind, you're very, very energetic, but you get yourself out of bed and just the first 15 minutes of your day are a struggle, how are you going to manage to do everything that you want to do? How are you going to fulfill not just your duties and your responsibilities, but your dreams, right? It's going to be very, very difficult. So you can't live the life of your dreams without having your body healed, being symptom-free, making sure your body and your mind are synced up. Now, hormonal imbalance, like I said, is very, very common. It's not just in the ages where we're expecting it to happen. We're seeing it happen. I'm seeing it happen in women in their 20s, even teenagers, such young ages, which is the proof that a lot of it has to do with your environment. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Environment means the lifestyle that you lead and the food that you eat. All right. Let me just give you a quick recap for those of you who are new. General symptoms of hormonal imbalance, if you're not sure. These are very general symptoms. Fatigue, irritation, acne, or any kind of pimples, difficulty digesting food, difficulty sleeping, irregular menstrual cycles, continuous headaches, pain or soreness in your breasts, hot flashes, vaginal dryness, hair loss, excessive growth of facial hair, constipation, diarrhea, stubborn weight gain, night sweats, migraines, on and on and on. So we have to look into the root causes. Unlike conventional medicine that likes to put a big band-aid on your bullet wounds, we're going to look at the root cause. We're going to fix it at the root, and that's how you become symptom-free and not dependent on medications. Let me just see who has joined us before I go on. Amen. So daily invite a friend. Well, that would be amazing, Amen. You only need to invite one to go into the draw. But if you want to keep inviting as many friends as you have, by all means, invite them so that they can be part of this conversation. They can have access to the information, of course. All right, so let's look at the major causes of hormonal imbalance. Time for your pen and paper. There are two categories of hormonal imbalance triggers, or two categories. I put them in two categories anyway. Non-food triggers, that's the first category. And then the second category is food/nutrition/lifestyle triggers. So two triggers, non-food, two, food, nutrition, lifestyle. Let's take them one by one. Non-food triggers, I'm gonna just list them first and then I'll go through and talk about each one in a little bit of detail. The non-food triggers: 1, obesity; 2, stress; 3, contraceptives; 4, getting older, perimenopause, menopause; 5, pregnancy; 6, candida overgrowth; and 7, Epstein-Barr virus. So those are your main non-food triggers that may be causing havoc in your body and you're not aware of it. Let's go through them one by one. Some of them, you don't get confused. Some of them are related to nutrition, like obviously obesity, right, is a result of poor nutrition. Candida is related to nutrition, but I put them in the non-food category because I'm going to assume that they're pre-existing conditions. You are already obese or you already have a candida overgrowth. All right, and we'll take it from there. Other triggers like the pregnancy, the perimenopause, the menopause, those are, like we talked about yesterday, natural shifts. They have to happen. They're not a problem, but they do trigger a shift and they do trigger symptoms. So it's not that you're not supposed to go through perimenopause or menopause. You are, but they are at the root cause of the shifts. So one by one, obesity. So it doesn't even have to be obesity. It can be, let's say if you're more than 8 or 9 kilograms overweight, 8 or 9 and above. This is one of the root causes of hormonal imbalance, and because it's also related to cancer. So there's two things that worry us here with obesity, because when you have more fat in your body than a lean person, it's not just about being skinny or fat or what you look like at all. It's because, remember we said yesterday, insulin takes toxins from food, sugar, and it stores them in your fat cells. So you have more space to store toxins. So your body has more space to assemble cancer-causing toxins. The more fat you have, the more potential you have for storing toxins, the more potential you have for storing specifically cancer-causing toxins. And when it comes to hormones, estrogen specifically, estrogen is the hormone that regulates your period. It's the one that makes you female. When you have excess estrogen and the body can't filter out your excess estrogen, when you're obese, it's going to store it in your fat cells also. So you get an excess of estrogen on top of the excess of estrogen. And when you have an excess of estrogen, especially in your breast tissue cells, this can lead to breast cancer. So this is key. So overweight, obesity, all of these, yes, they have these other health issues, but at the core of it for women, you're looking at storing estrogen, you're looking at storing cancer-causing toxins, you're looking at potentially breast cancer cells developing. So that's the first one, obesity. The next one we talked about yesterday a lot, which is stress. Stress is a big one, and to the degree that you've identified how many stress triggers you have, we talked about this in yesterday's video, you can see to what extent you have an imbalance in your hormones, because it doesn't matter if the stress is mental, physical, emotional, your husband, your kids, your job, the kinds of food that you eat. It affects your adrenal glands. Your adrenal glands have to pump out more cortisol, more adrenaline. This causes an imbalance in those hormones. Go back and watch yesterday's class if you need more details. And then when that happens, you get the symptoms that follow what we call adrenal fatigue. We talked about yesterday, exhaustion, crazy cravings, low blood pressure, high blood pressure, joint pains, disruption to your blood sugar levels, or all sorts of things can happen from stress. The third one is contraceptives. So if you're on the pill, or if you are using a hormonal IUD, so not the ones that actually excrete a little bit of hormones, that is going to interfere with your hormonal balance for sure. It has become so common for women in modern times to take the pill or to use an IUD to control if there's an issue with your menstruation, right? Specifically, I mean, not every woman is taking it as a birth control solution. Many women are taking pills because there's something wrong with their period, or maybe they have PCOS. Something is irregular and they need the pill to regulate it. But the problem is with all of these is that they contain synthetic hormones, whether it's the pill or the hormonal IUD. And this can cause damage, not only imbalance to your hormones, it can also cause damage to your breast tissue, particularly the pill. So that's another one. And then of course we talked about perimenopause and menopause yesterday. As you get older, you're going to go through these. They are going to cause a shift. What we want to do is make sure that the shift is like this, like they just shift a little bit like this, your hormones, not like this. When they're like this is when you get all the symptoms. So it's very normal to go through this. We want to make sure that the symptoms are minimal, completely minimal. Finally, we have 3 more. Pregnancy. I mean, we all know about pregnancy, right? When you get pregnant, surge of progesterone, it has to happen. But when you're done with your pregnancy and then the progesterone drops, that's when you can get the postnatal blues. That's when you can feel really down. That's when you can feel really off. So I think out of all the triggers, this is the one that you can probably have the least control over, because it's just something that happens with pregnancy. Yes, you can control the effects of it, but there is really no way to sort of gauge to what extent your progesterone is going to go up and down during pregnancy and when this pregnancy is over. Candida. So Candida is a significant cause of hormonal imbalance. You might or might not know what Candida is. Candida is a yeast. And it's actually a good yeast, and it's naturally occurring in our digestive system. It's actually supposed to be there. It's in your digestive system. It's also in your mouth. It's supposed to be there. It helps to keep the balance between the good bacteria and the bad bacteria in your body. But because of our modern day lifestyles, because of the foods that we eat, using excessive antibiotics, excessive medication, Candida tends to overgrow. And the problem is when it overgrows, that then it can lead to infections like urinary tract infections, vaginal infections, other skin-related infections. It can also be at the root cause of your anxiety or your fatigue or your depression. So that's an important one that most people are not aware of. The last one is probably one of the ones that is the most controversial, which is the Epstein-Barr virus. So even within the holistic communities, we argue about this one. We have a lot of conversations around this one. We believe that the Epstein-Barr virus is literally the root cause of so many health problems that are, let's call them mystery illnesses, right? Your doctor can't really explain why you have it. He can't really explain why you get fibromyalgia. There really is no explanation for chronic fatigue syndrome. There is no explanation for multiple sclerosis. There is no explanation for thyroid, right? They just call it an autoimmune because they don't actually know why it happens. Lyme disease, lupus, vertigo, tinnitus, acne, on and on and on and on. So in holistic circles, and again, even in holistic circles, we argue about this. I'm just sharing with you, one, because I do believe it's at the root cause of so many issues, and two, because it's part of the information that you need to have, that you need to figure out if you're going to take this piece of information or not. So we believe that it's at the root cause, that when you have what is labeled as an autoimmune, thyroid, multiple sclerosis, arthritis, lupus, Lyme disease, tinnitus, doesn't matter what it is, you do have Epstein-Barr virus. If you go and test for it, there's two tests that you have to do. One that shows if you have had it in the past, and one that shows if it's currently active. The majority of people will come back showing that it's currently inactive, but that you had it before. So when you go to your conventional doctor, he's going to say, oh, well, no, you had it before, it's over. We can see that antibodies, it's over. You've had it in the past. It's not currently active. This is not a problem right now. In holistic circles, we believe that it never actually goes away. It stays dormant, and then can be reactivated, and then can be dormant again, and reactivated, and dormant again, but it never really goes away. And what's actually happening, all of the symptoms that you have are not actually diseases or separate conditions. They are merely symptoms of one root cause, which is the Epstein-Barr virus. Like I said, though, there's a bit of controversy there, but it's important information. Maybe you've never heard it before. Maybe you're listening and maybe a light bulb is going off in your head, like, oh, wait a minute. I think I had that virus and I have a thyroid condition. Maybe they're related. Probably they are. We can have a conversation about it. So before I go on, let me know in the comments, how many of these non-food triggers do you think you had or have? Let me know in the comments. Hiba, can you please write the name of the virus down? Yes, I will. It's Epstein, 3 words, Epstein-Barr virus, but I will also write it down. Shireen, when I asked to get tested for EBV, the doctor laughed out loud, refused to get me tested. Do you see how this is in direct violation of your right? Very simple example right there, Shireen. It's your right to know. 100% your right to know, and you are not even been given the courtesy to have a question answered for you, to get clarity, to wonder, to question. It's, I'm going to spell it out for you, Iman, all right? Hanya, I had Epstein-Barr virus when I was young at the age of 21, and surprisingly, my kids got it. Most people, that's when they get it. Early adulthood, college age is when most of us get it. It's most commonly known as mononucleosis in its early stages, and I want to say like 98% of the world is walking around with Epstein-Barr virus. Super common virus. Epstein, thank you for spelling it out, Binhan. Menopause, amen. Epstein-Barr virus, thank you for spelling it out, ladies. So those are your non-food triggers. Now we're gonna get to my favorite part and the most maybe scariest part for all of you, and that is the food triggers. What are the foods that trigger hormonal imbalance? Oh my God, Den is going to give us the list of foods that we have to remove, the list of foods that we can't have anymore. She's actually going to do it right now. Yes, I am, ladies. There's a couple of comments. Is Epstein-Barr virus hereditary? Yes, it can be. It can be. Mostly it's contagious, but it can be hereditary. The foods. I want you to prepare yourself mentally a little bit that your brain is going to panic as I'm talking right now. It's going to panic, and it's going to panic rightfully so. You have a part of your brain, which is the most primitive part of your brain. It's called the primal brain. It's called the critter brain. It's called the ancient brain. It's the first part of your brain that developed in ancient man 200, 300,000 years ago. All right. So when I tell you this list of foods, this very primitive part of your brain whose job is to protect you. This part of your brain, its only job in life is to make sure you're safe, so you don't end up dead somewhere, to make sure you're always feeling pleasure. It doesn't want you upset. It doesn't want you sad. It doesn't want you frustrated. And it doesn't want you to exert energy. So it doesn't want you to do anything that takes a lot of effort. It just wants you to be happy. It wants you to be sitting on the couch. It wants you to eat all the foods that make you feel good. And any kind of threat to that, it's going to raise hell, and it's going to have alarm bells going all over the place. So just keep that in mind as I give you this list, right? That it's not you, it's your critter brain that's panicking and going, what is she thinking? Does she even think that this is possible? She's going to die if she does this. That's exactly what your critter brain is thinking. That just you considering what I'm going to say might kill you. All right. That's to what extent your critter brain hates change. It loves staying in the comfort zone. It loves keeping you in your comfort zone. It hates growth at any level, even if the growth is good for you. All right. Everybody been warned? Everybody been warned. Here we go. The food triggers, number one. Okay, this one is easy, right? Alcohol. I mean, I don't know how many of you are going to really be upset at that one. In my community, it's not a huge problem, but alcohol, I think, even if you love your glass of wine, we can all agree that alcohol is a toxin. Like, there's no confusion around that, right? Alcohol. Number two, caffeine. Nobody's going to agree to this one. Caffeine, so coffee, tea, green tea, anything with caffeine, the body's going to tag as toxic and can lead to hormonal imbalances. The next one is processed oils. So any oil like sunflower oil, corn oil, canola oil, basically all those oils that we have that have been marketed to us as really good for the heart, amazing for cholesterol. This is what you need to do. Get rid of butter, get rid of ghee, get rid of all these other sources of fat. And here, use these oils. Those oils are probably the worst thing that you can put in your body. And the next one is sugar. I think we can all agree on sugar, right? The white stuff you put in desserts, the white stuff you put in your tea, it's a toxin. It's a toxin. There's just no way around it. Like, you really can't argue that sugar is not a toxin. And it's probably one that maybe is easier for you. You don't panic so much at the thought of sugar like you do at the thought of caffeine. The other one is wheat. So here's one that is a shocker for a lot of people. So wheat, anything that's made with flour. So it doesn't matter if the bread is white. It doesn't matter if it's brown. It doesn't matter if it's multigrain. It doesn't matter if it's rye. It doesn't matter if it's black bread. It doesn't matter if it's beledi bread. It doesn't matter what kind of bread it is. If it's made from wheat, it's toxic. Anything else made from wheat also. So pasta, all those cereals that claim to be super healthy, right? Like Special K or what's the one I used to have? Also another Kellogg's one, raisins, something raisins. I mean, honestly, ladies, those cereals, the cereal inside the box is about as nutritious as the carton it comes in. You might as well, just tear the carton apart when you're done eating what's inside it, and also add the milk and eat it. In terms of nutritional value, it's just about the same. So cakes, cookies, bagels, anything that has flour in it, all of that is toxic. The next one is dairy. So anything that comes from milk, cheese, yogurt, goat's milk, buffalo milk, camel milk, any kind of milk, all of that is toxic. Eggs, soy, and to an extent, animal protein. I'm going to go through and tell you a little bit about each one also, but let me just see the reactions. You are killing me, Dana. No, I'm not. Really, I'm not. I'm telling you what is actually. It's not me. Oats. Oats are not on the high list, but they're not a food that's going to heal you either. Roya Shatir yogurt, yep, yogurt, Nabila cheese, Nashwa is in complete disbelief. I know, it's a shock. It was a shock to all of us when we initially heard it, because it was a shock. It's perfectly normal. That's what I want to say. Everything you're feeling right now, the denial, that maybe you want to turn this off and not listen to me again, then it's crazy. And now I need to go find another nutritionist. I need to find somebody who lets me eat bread and who lets me have yogurt. What is this nonsense? What is left to eat? Exactly what is left to eat. Eggs, how can we get calcium? I'm going to get to that, Iman. Jihan, is there any food left to eat? Oh my God, you'd be surprised at how much food there is actually left to eat. Rawia, isn't Baladi bread natural wheat, not the processed one? There is no such thing as natural wheat, right? You have better quality grades of wheat, things made with wheat, but wheat is still wheat. Wheat, and I'm going to get to it. So it doesn't matter what the wheat is made into, it's still wheat. Dina, you don't want to see the reactions. Oh, I'm seeing them. Hiba, so what to eat? Don't worry, I'm going to tell you what to eat. And on day 8, I'm going to give you a simplified meal plan. We will be rabbits. No, not quite rabbits, but maybe close. Hi, Nariman. Nariman, you would need to give alternatives for each to make it slightly easier. Here's the thing. That's a good point, Nariman. You don't need alternatives for something that harms you. Right? You don't need an alternative for wheat. One, because wheat doesn't contain any live enzymes or any minerals or any vitamins or anything essential that you have to replace. So whenever we're talking about anything you want to remove and you need a replacement for it, you need a replacement because it's something essential, right? So for dairy, there's nothing essential there. Like when you remove it, your body is not missing anything. So there's nothing to give it because it's missing something. Like dairy is the perfect example of something that needs a replacement. And the only reason it needs a replacement, because in our minds, we have connected dairy to calcium. So in our minds, like if we remove dairy, then where are we going to get calcium from? Because we've just been programmed that the only and best source of calcium is dairy. So in that case, there's obviously a replacement for the calcium, not a replacement for the dairy. I mean, there are replacements for dairy. There's almond milk, coconut milk, etc. But what we're looking at when we remove dairy is not the actual milky product. What we're looking at when we're removing dairy is how to then replenish calcium. And calcium is what you absolutely need. You don't need dairy. All right? Radwa, is it okay to cut these if I'm trying to get pregnant? By all means, if you are trying to get pregnant, if you are having trouble getting pregnant, if you don't know how to get pregnant, it's because of these foods that you're having a problem getting pregnant. If you're not having a problem and you're just trying and everything is normal, then you need to get rid of these so that you can have the best pregnancy possible and the healthiest baby possible. Nadiman, but animal protein, isn't that important? Yes and no. So animal protein is one of those foods where we've been programmed that we need a lot. You don't need a lot. So you don't need to have protein breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And when you think about it, the problem that the health problems we're having in the world right now is not because people are lacking protein. There's no deficiency in protein anywhere. But when it comes to hormones, I'm going to talk about that specifically. For a certain phase in our lives, animal protein works against us instead of working for us. So we're going to get to that. Huwaida, how to drink hot drinks without sugar? Honey, raw honey, pure raw honey. It's anti-inflammatory, it's antihistaminic, it's antiviral, it's antibacterial, it's anti-everything, raw honey. Maj, gluten-free doesn't make a difference. No, gluten-free doesn't mean it's healthy. Gluten-free just means that they have removed the gluten, but more often than not, what they've replaced it with is not necessarily that much better for you. Okay, so everybody's freaking out. That's all I needed to know. Congratulations, everybody's freaking out. Let me just go through them quickly. Alcohol. So we know it's a toxin. It can cause hot flashes. It affects your blood sugar levels, causes a spike in your estrogen, which we don't want. Caffeine also promotes hot flashes, and it affects your blood sugar levels, affects your insulin, which we talked about yesterday. The processed oils, basically they're processed from a vegetable. They tell you it's processed from a vegetable, but corn is a grain, canola is a grain. They're not actually vegetables. And they use very, very, very high heat and chemicals like hexane. And basically that leaves you with an oil that's oxidized, very, very oxidized, which means it oxidizes in your blood. And when it oxidizes in your blood, that means it turns rancid, which leads to inflammation in the body, which damages your cells, accelerates aging, hormonal imbalance, heart disease, all of it. Like we said, sugar. And so sugar is white sugar, brown sugar. So don't confuse healthier than white sugar. Brown sugar is actually white sugar that has molasses mixed into it. So nothing different there. Corn syrup, if you ever buy anything in the package, look at the back of the package. If high fructose corn syrup is one of the ingredients, don't ever buy it. Sugar is sugar. We talked about that yesterday with regards to insulin. We're not talking about the sugar from fruits. I'm never talking about the sugar from fruits when I'm talking about toxic sugar. When I'm talking about toxic sugar, I'm talking about the white stuff. I'm talking about the sugar that when you consume wheat, wheat turns into sugar. So I'm talking about all of those. This is the sugar that causes the spike in insulin. This is the sugar that causes your insulin levels to remain elevated, because this is the sugar that is trying to get to your cells but can't get in, and you end up with insulin resistance and diabetes. Wheat, so wheat is two problems with wheat: that it's got the sugar, it turns into sugar, and gluten. So there's another problem with wheat. Gluten is a protein that the body cannot break down. So the protein in animals, let's say, even though it's tough to break down, but the body recognizes it. So think of protein sort of like a chain of pearls. The protein in animal protein, when it goes in your body, the pearls just, come away from the necklace very easily. The body digests it. Imagine the gluten is more like a cluster of pearls. If you have one of those necklaces, it's like chunky pearls all together. You can't undo them from each other. So when they go in your body, they go in your body like this, in chunks, in clumps, and the body can't separate and extract them from each other. So it goes in and literally it can scratch the inside of your intestines, leading to what we call leaky gut. Your body doesn't recognize it, it can't break it down. And if we're talking about aging, right? So here's how these foods age you. You have substances in your body called advanced glycation end products. We're going to call them AGEs for now. They're responsible for either speeding up or slowing down the aging process in your body. And that doesn't just include, how you wrinkle, but aging and damage to your organs, your joints, your hormones, all of it. So one of the factors that causes these AGEs to increase and to speed up is an elevated blood sugar level in the body. So if you're constantly eating bread, pasta, cereals, anything made from flour, and also dairy, because dairy is a source of sugar, it keeps these AGE levels in the body elevated, completely elevated. And this makes the aging process speed up, go faster. You look older than your age. So dairy, this is, wheat and dairy are super controversial. We believe that we need dairy because we've been taught that we need dairy because we need calcium. We do need calcium. 100% you can't live without calcium. You don't need it from the baby food of a cow. So a cow makes its food like any other female mammal. She produces her milk when she gives birth, just like me and you. That's the only time she's supposed to produce milk, is after she's had her baby. And think about how big a cow is, and think about how big her baby is. A cow has 4 stomachs to digest milk, and her baby has 4 stomachs to digest the milk that it's getting from its mother. So not only is this food not meant for us, we're the only mammals still trying to figure this out. We're the only mammals that once we're done or weaned off the milk of our own mothers, we're the only mammals who run off and try to get milk from another animal. So think about animals in nature. Think about lions. Think about giraffes. Think about any mammal. When they're done drinking their mother's milk, do they drink milk again at any other point in their lives? Do they go and try and find a cow and take her milk? Nobody does, except for humans. So that's one thing, that this food was not created for humans to start with. Number 2, assuming that it was, right now, the way that these cows are farmed makes it very, very difficult for us to get a pure source of the dairy. So in the farms, and this is all over the world, not just Egypt, it's all over the world. They pack the cows by the thousands and thousands and thousands into these horrible warehouses and cages. They feed them food that they're not supposed to eat. So a cow in nature is only supposed to eat grass. That's it. If you leave a cow in nature, it's not supposed to eat grains and corn and soy and leftover bits of other animals and garbage, which is what all these cows in the farms are eating. A cow in nature is only supposed to eat grass. That's it. So not only do they then give them this mix of things because they want to plump them up really quick, right? That's why. They want to plump them up really quick. They don't want them to get sick. So all the cows are given incredible medications, incredible amounts of antibiotics. So in case one of them gets sick, it doesn't affect the rest of them, and then all the cows die, then they don't have any, there's no cows to produce the milk. That's one thing. And then how do you get a female mammal who has just delivered and her milk is coming in? How do you get her to keep producing milk for life? You and I don't produce milk for life, maximum 2 years if you're going to breastfeed your children. What would have to happen in order for you to keep producing milk for the rest of your life? They have to give it hormones. That's the only way. And so they're pumped full of hormones. So then it's time to go and milk this cow. This milk, if you ever watch a video of this, it's hideous. The udders are completely distended because they're just overflowing. Like think of your worst day of breastfeeding when your boobs are about to explode. Imagine the poor cow is like this every single day of her life. So then they pump the milk, and because they're distended, her udders, they pump blood, they pump pus, they pump all sorts of things along with the milk into that milk. And believe it or not, that pus and the blood doesn't all get filtered out. The Tetra packs of milk that you buy doesn't all get filtered out. It goes into your milk. The hormones, the extra hormones goes into your milk. The antibiotics goes into your milk, all of it. So let's say you decide, right, I'm gonna go get my own cow. I'm gonna get a baby cow and I'm gonna bring it and I'm gonna put it in my balcony, or I'm gonna put it in my garden, and I'm just gonna give it grass, and I'm not gonna give it any antibiotics, I'm not gonna give it hormones, I'm gonna let it live completely naturally, and I'm gonna take the milk from this cow. Definitely a better option, for sure. But here's the thing, this cow, she has her own set of hormones. She has her own estrogen. She has her own progesterone. She has her own testosterone. And look at how big she is. So even if she's 100% clean and pure and she only eats grass, when you go and milk her, you're still getting her own hormones. Do you see that? And when your hormones have reached a tipping point, so when your body has reached a point where it can't filter out its own hormones anymore, it can't filter out the hormones of another animal. And this is why animal protein becomes problematic. Same thing for eggs. Have you ever considered what an egg is? An egg is literally the hormonal control center. It has all the hormones and all the DNA instructions of the animal that it comes from. And then we go and eat it. Hormonal control center. Plus, eggs also feed viruses and feed bacteria. So that's why those don't work. All right? So let me know, how many of these do you have on a daily basis? No shame here, ladies. No shame and no blame. We're just creating, we're collecting data to see how we're going to move forward. So let me know, how many of these do you have every single day? Bread, cheese, coffee, milk, sugar, eggs, meat, all of it. How many do you have every single day? Iman, so we have to be vegan. You don't have to be vegan. I'm definitely not a label, but I do better with much less animal protein. Let's put it that way. Angie, my son is watching me now, and now he wants us to buy a cow. By the way, ladies, the advice I'm giving you here is not just for you. It's for your kids. It's for your husband. It's for your entire family. Hiba, milk, eggs, coffee every single day. Huwaida, eggs. Josie, eggs. Iman, 2 eggs. Dina, everything except for alcohol. Hania, what about fish? So fish are the least hormonal animals, right? So red meat is up there, chicken, fish is the one that's easiest on the body. Nariman, I do all except, oops, the guys are typing too fast. Milk, cheese, and bread forever. Nashwa, coffee, eggs, meat, and chicken. Eggs, milk, lebna, jibna, oh, everybody, right? And there's a lot of you ladies here that for the past 2 weeks, I've been having conversations in Facebook Messenger. So a lot of you already know what your answer is. 1 coffee and bread daily, coffee, Nasreen, soy, wheat, sugar. Soy is on that list too. It's on the next list I'm going to share. Homemade yogurt now is quite common. It's still dairy though, right? Sandra, please tell me I can still quit that and gain weight because this is what I want. In order to gain weight in a healthy way, yes, you can. Minnat, all except alcohol and meat. All right, so everybody's eating it. Can you see now why everybody is suffering? It's not because we all came to this world with defective spare parts. It's because we're all following and eating the same food. We're all following the same advice that makes everybody sick. Do you see the correlation? It's not actually a mystery. If everybody is eating milk and cheese and coffee and red meat and alcohol and corn oil and sunflower oil, can you see why everybody's sick? Can you see why it's so common? Do you see that, ladies? All right, so there's the other list. I was just assuming that maybe you ladies knew. Obviously, all the artificial sweeteners are out, right? The corn syrup, agave, aspartame, sweet and low, blah, 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 all those are out. Processed foods, junk food. I mean, I'm not gonna talk about those. I'm assuming we have a common understanding about those. Luncheon meats, all those processed things. Soy is definitely on that list. So don't go and remove milk and then add in soy. Soy does interfere with hormone production in a big time. Soy is a no-no for women. All right, so as if that wasn't enough of a shock to all of you ladies, Minnet, I used to be so proud that my kids drink milk like water. All of us. So, I mean, I was right there where you are, ladies. Give my kids milk twice a day, make sure they take all their milk, make sure they have milk with their cereal. It's like the best breakfast in the ever, or melted cheese in the morning. They're getting their calcium, they're getting their fiber, they're going to be filled up. We all did that. We've all been there. Hania, what about coconut milk, soy milk, and almond milk? Yes to the coconut and almond, no to the soy. Yes, coconut. I'm gonna give you guys a sample meal plan. So don't worry, we're gonna get there, ladies. All right, but I'm not done. I'm not done giving you the non-food triggers. All right. So remember, we said the non-food triggers are nutrition and lifestyle. So there's other little things here that are also causing problems. And if you thought the food was gonna drive your critter brain crazy, here's the other lifestyle trigger, and that is all your beauty products, ladies. Every single one of your beauty products. So everything, your shampoo, your conditioner, your body wash, your facial cleanser, your moisturizer, your every single serum, your eye cream, your body cream, your foot cream, your elbow cream, your acne cream, your wrinkle cream, your pigmentation cream, your hair masks, all of it. Every single conventional beauty product. So anything that you buy in a typical drugstore or department store, from the cheapest that you buy at Boots, or you buy at Shoppers Drug Mart in Canada, or you buy, I don't know what the other drugstores are around the world, Neutrogena, that's like a typical drugstore product, from Neutrogena all the way up to Chanel, all of them. They are all what we call endocrine disruptors. They literally disrupt, remember your endocrine system, that the system that creates, produces, and secretes your hormones. So these products don't just harm the hormones themselves, they harm the organs that produce these hormones. They harm the way that these organs function. So your skin, think about it, is the largest organ in your body. It's the largest organ. Like, look at how much space it covers. You never think of it as an organ necessarily. It's an organ, and it's your largest one. And it reflects the condition of the inside of your body. Anything that's happening on the outside is a result of what's happening on the inside. So like everything else, the way to fix what's happening on the inside, on the outside, is to go inside. Your skin is also your largest detoxifying organ. So it's your first line of defense. And if there's something going on in your body that your body can't quite process, it's going to process through your skin. So anytime you ingest or you're taking in on a regular nature any one of these foods or any of the chemicals in your beauty products, your skin is going to react. Maybe it's going to react by changing color, pigmentation. Believe it or not, that's not just because of the sun. Maybe it's going to react by turning into a wrinkle. Maybe it's going to react by just becoming dull. It's not getting nutrients. Maybe it's going to react by acne. Something is trying to come out of your body, and the only way that it can make its way out is literally to purge through your skin, okay? When this happens is when your skin, remember we talked about symptoms yesterday, it's the way that your body communicates with you. When something's happening in your skin, this is a huge mode of communication that your body is telling you something is out of balance. Something you're doing is not serving you. So it's not the time to go and cover it up. It's not the time to go and try and, like, you know, suppress it and kill it away. It's time to think about what's going inside. What's happening outside means you need a major cleanup on the inside. And here's why, ladies. The average woman, uses about 12 products per day. Think about it. Shampoo, conditioner, shower gel, facial cleanser, maybe 1 or 2 serums, eye cream, body cream. Maybe you put something on your hair after you wash it, like a leave-in conditioner or a styling product. Maybe you have a special cream, heel cream, elbow cream, whatever it is. Average of 12 products a day. 12 products that can, at the minimum, contain around 160 toxic ingredients every single day. So basically your most loved routine, morning and night, cleaning your face, putting your oils, feeling really good, is one of the most dangerous if you're not using the right products. So I'm not saying you're never going to clean your face with beautiful products. Again, you just have to use the right ones. So your skin is a breathable organ. Breathable. It needs to breathe. All the conventional products everywhere, they all contain something called petroleum jelly, petrochemicals. You know, like Vaseline? Stay away from Vaseline. So that's a petrochemical. And that also goes for children's products. Everything I'm saying here also goes for children's products, ladies. So these petrochemicals are in all of the conventional beauty products. And what happens when you apply your favorite moisturizer, your favorite serum, essentially what you're doing is you're applying a layer of petrochemical. It's like you're applying an invisible layer of Vaseline. So that is the equivalent of you applying a layer of cling film all over your skin, which basically shuts down the respiration process, the breathing process, and your skin suffocates. So all these products work in the short term, but you might have noticed that as you get older in age, the product that used to work is not working anymore, or your skin is looking older and duller and just not full of life anymore. So you switch to another product, but that's because of what you're eating, and it's because of what you're doing, how you're literally suffocating your skin cells. Your skin, when you put those products on, it can't take in oxygen, it can't release carbon monoxide, it cannot breathe. And this suffocation leads to the dehydration, it leads to the wrinkles, the hyperpigmentation, the eczema, psoriasis, all of it. So most companies don't even list all of their ingredients on their products. They list some, but believe it or not, they're not even required to list them all. I'm going to go through and give you a quick list of ingredients to look for in your products. And I want you to go home and look at your products today, look at your husband's products, look at your kids' products, and see if you have any of these in your home right now. Pen and paper, ladies, and I'm gonna completely mispronounce these. I know that. I'm gonna slaughter the pronunciations because I'm not a chemist, I'm not a pharmacist, I'm not a doctor. Parabens, butyl parabens, lysoparabens, methylparabens, propylparabens. These are usually found in your deodorants and moisturizers. These are different types of parabens, and they are hormone inhibitors, and they're believed to accelerate tumor growth. If you find artificial fragrance or just the word fragrance listed as an ingredient, or any color, so if they say F, D, C, B, color pigments, these can trigger allergies, asthma, and they can, obviously these are harmful, not natural colors, or harmful dyes. Toluene is another ingredient. You find this in nail polish, you find it in hair coloring products, some perfumes. This chemical, toluene, is linked to kidney and liver damage. The other ones are sodium lauryl sulfate and sodium laureth sulfate. These are the foaming agents in your shampoos. Foaming agents in shampoo, in your facial wash, in your body wash. These long-term can dry out your body, and they can lead to hair loss, they can lead to rashes, they can lead to eczema. This one always gets me, ladies, formaldehyde. Did you guys ever dissect like a frog or like little animals in school in biology class? And when you took it out of the, when you took it and put it on your tray to dissect it, it had that horrible smell, formaldehyde. They put formaldehyde, it's a preservative, they put it in your products to preserve the product, but they cover it up with fragrance and stuff and you can't smell it. The other one is PEG, capital P, capital E, capital G. So these are found in lots and lots of products also. This is actually antifreeze. I don't know why they would put antifreeze in our products, but they are. Paraffin, mineral oil, like I said, petroleum, baby oil, any of the petrochemicals in their pure form, right? These clog your pores, your skin can't breathe, causes toxic buildup. The next one is phthalates, but it's spelled with PH, PHTHALATS, phthalates. This is found in plastics, and this is a hormone disruptor. Triclosan, so this one, especially in the past year, this is a huge one. This is the one that's found in all your antibacterial disinfectants, right? We're all disinfecting away our hands and our kids' hands. It's got triclosan. This is a pesticide. It's a pesticide and a suspected carcinogenic. Benzoates is another one. Alkylyl parahydroxy is another one. Propylene glycol, benzene. Basically, if you can't pronounce it, right? So if you look on the back of your ingredients of your products and you can't pronounce it like the way I can't pronounce it right now, it's something you don't recognize, then your body can't recognize it. It's a chemical that should not be applied on your skin. And these, like I said, they're added to the high-end products as well as the cheaper products everywhere. Don't be fooled by the brands that also claim to be all natural. So the brands that claim to be all natural have removed, for the most part, parabens, maybe the sodium lauryl sulfates, the sodium laureth sulfates, but they have a lot of, you just keep reading, you'll find a list of other ingredients. You really, really have to check the labels. If you wouldn't eat it, ladies, if you wouldn't eat it, if you wouldn't take your eye cream and put it on your tongue, it doesn't belong on your skin. That's probably the easiest thing I can tell you. So how many of you use all of these products? Whichever product you use, how many of you use them every single day? How many do you use and how many times per day? Let me know. Let me know, ladies. Well, that's your question for today. You're going to send me an email and you're going to tell me how many of these conventional products you use. You're going to also go and check your products. I want you to go and check all of your beauty products today. And I want you to let me know how many of these ingredients did you find at home. Mona, I do. Maha, me. What about natural oils? Yes, natural essential oils is the best way to go because you can, they're botanicals. They come from nature. They come from plants. They come from flowers. Your body recognizes them. Iman, I use many. Neshwa, I do. Josie, yes, in shampoo. Rania, I do. Sandra, I use all. Iman, under eye gel, moisturizing cream for fine lines. Me. Rauya, I gave up a lot except shampoo. I just get the sulfate free. Right, so that's your homework for today, ladies. Go and check your products again. Go and check your kids' products. Go and check your husband's products and look at the ingredients that are there. Only on my hair, the rest is natural. Great. Dina, how do you dye your hair then? I actually don't dye my hair. Believe it or not, this is my natural color. I haven't dyed my hair ever. Although I think I'm gonna have to start. I started getting these white, little white hairs right there. But this is one thing I actually can't give advice on. I haven't actually had to dye my hair. I do have a couple of resources though, ladies, for the hair dye. When it's time for me to dye my hair, this is what I'm going to use. I'll show you. I will share the resources with you for the natural products, whether internationally or locally. The amazing thing is, of course, there are natural products. There are natural cleansers, natural soaps, natural shampoos, and more than one company in Cairo is producing amazing products right now. And there's 2 companies that I trust internationally. I use their products. You can also, if you have access to ordering things abroad, I'm going to share those. So I wouldn't just tell you, throw out your products and just leave you, right? I know how important it is for us to have this process, to have this time to feel pretty and to feel beautiful. It's part of our self-care routine. So we're not throwing it out the window. We're just replacing the products. That's it. All right. So Nasreen, I used to use Vaseline on my daughter when she was a baby all the time. So did I. So did all of us, right? Until we knew better. This is the year that now we know better, and now we're going to do better. So I will share those resources with you. I'll also put a list of the ingredients because I know it's a little bit complicated. I'll copy paste it in a post, and I'll put the links for the companies, the natural facial body products, hair products, all of that. I'm going to share it with you in a post, so make sure to come back and check tomorrow. I'll share all of that. And this one's hard. Like, it was a lot harder for me to give up my products. It was a lot harder to give up my cleansing, facial cleansing products. It actually took me, I think it was a year after I became a year after I learned about it. So like, somebody told me, like how I'm telling you right now, and it took me 1 year to actually be courageous enough to do it. And remember, I used to have acne. I used to have cystic acne all over here. So giving up, and I was frightened of giving up the chemicals that sort of held the acne at bay. But when I finally got rid of my acne, because I discovered that acne is caused by eggs and dairy and processed foods. When I got rid of those and my acne started to clear up completely, I still needed to wear makeup because I still had some scars. I still needed like heavy foundation. So I was really attached to my products. So it took me a year to finally make that decision. It was the last sort of piece in my healing journey. And when I stopped using the conventional products and I went just using essential oils, just pure essential oils, because I had acne, my skin sort of had its own healing crisis. So it actually got worse before it got better, which happens. But since then, I have been completely acne free, like nothing. And now I don't have to wear makeup. It used to be where I can't leave the house without makeup. Like, I can't, there's no way, the scars and the acne and all of it. Since I started using the oils, since I changed how I eat, I wear makeup because I want to. Like, I wear makeup like today, like in the classes, like I have a little bit of a very light foundation on. I wear it because I want to. I wear it because it makes me feel good. It gives me a little bit of confidence when I'm doing a class like this, but I don't have to. So there's a huge difference between feeling like you have to wear makeup because there's something you're feeling insecure about and something you feel like you need to hide, and just wanting to wear makeup just for fun, or wanting to wear makeup for like a special occasion with my husband. So most of the time, and if I'm not doing a class like this, I didn't wear makeup at all. If I'm not going out for dinner, I didn't wear makeup at all. Lots of times I can go out and wear nothing on my face. And it's because when you use the natural products combined with the nutrition, you're going to see your face glow. Your skin, even though it's your largest organ, it's not a vital organ. It's not vital. So it's not an organ that saves your life, right? You're not being kept alive by your skin. It's not like your heart. It's not like your lungs. It's not like your liver. So when you consume foods that are very low in nutrients, bread, cheese, pasta, junk, all of the foods that everybody's eating, those are very, very low in nutrients. So the body sort of scrambles to distribute these nutrients to the vital organs first. So, and there's not that many nutrients to start with. So, right, you eat a sandwich and the body's like, there's really nothing for us to do here, but right, let's give a little bit to the heart, let's give a little bit to the lungs, let's give a little bit to the liver. There's nothing left over to feed the skin, because there's just not enough to start with. But when you eat foods that are nutrient dense, and we're going to get to that tomorrow, nutrient dense, meaning every little bite of that food is filled with live enzymes, live hydration, minerals, vitamins, antioxidants, right? And you eat those foods, the body's like, oh my God, there's too much here. All of this can go to the lungs, and all of this can go to the liver, and all of this can go to the kidney, and look, all of this can go to the skin too. We have extra. So then the nutrients go to your skin and your skin gets fed. That's how you look better. That's how you start to glow. That's how you start to look younger. That's how you get, people are like, well, did you do something? It's not from the creams. It's not from the stuff you put on top of your skin. It's by feeding your skin from the inside out. So you do that, and then you feed it with essential oils, because essential oils, like I said, are botanicals. They come from plants. So you feed it instead of suffocating it with the other chemicals. You just look at what happens to your skin. I don't do anything to my skin. Believe it or not, ladies, no Botox, no fillers, no injections, nothing. I just started to get a little bit of lines this year. I do nothing to my skin. And you don't have to either if you just know and follow what I'm telling you. It's not hard. It's not a secret, right? It's not even a secret. Like, just take out the bad stuff, put in the good stuff, and watch your body and your health and your skin transform. All right. Howeida, what about sunscreen? I use it aggressively. I never use sunscreen. Never. The only time I use sunscreen on my face is if I'm actually at the beach. So if I'm at the beach and I know I'm going to be in the sun for hours and hours and hours and hours, I have gotten myself a supply of also natural sunscreen. The conventional sunscreen has been proven to, I know they tell you sunscreen is important to prevent skin cancer, blah, 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 blah. It has been proven to increase your risk of skin cancer, you and your kids. So all of that needs to go. All right. I'm going to give you all the sources for all of that anyway. All right, ladies. So I think with that, we have come to the end of today's class. Yes, we have. So your homework, send me at questions@danadanawi.com how many products you use, what are the ingredients that you found in your products at home. Super, super simple question for today. If you haven't watched the other 2 days and you want to watch them because you want to answer the questions, because you want to go into the draw to win one of the programs, be sure you've done that by tomorrow night. So tomorrow night is the deadline for you to binge watch. If you need to binge watch, answer the questions, submit the questions to the first 4 videos at questions@danadanawi.com, because Thursday is when I'm going to announce the 2 winners during the class. All right, so go check all your products, and thank you, ladies, for another amazing, amazing, amazing session. I'm having so much fun with you guys, I have to say. So thank you so much. As usual, I will go back and read all of your posts and all of your comments. So if I missed something, don't worry about it. And keep inviting your friends, answer the questions, go and check your ingredients, send me an email, and I will see you all again tomorrow, same time, same place. Good night, ladies.